Right. My name's Sylvia. I was living in Israel for many years, and when my father became ill, I decided to come back to England to look after him. He was already living in one of the Jewish housing flats, and I came the year before to ask at the housing if they could find me a flat when I came the following year, which they did. I intended staying in the flat perhaps just a couple of years, but by that time I'd made it my home. I'd spent a lot of money, and I liked the area where I lived and the Jewish housing approach to helping people. Several years later I moved into this flat with my husband, which is a beautiful flat, and we're both very, very happy here. We've got more room here than we had in our previous flat, so it made sense to come here. And all I can say is I think what the Jewish housing have built on this estate is a wonderful thing that they've done, and we appreciate it very much. Well, the flat that I had before, where we both lived, was just a one-bedroom flat. We spent a lot of money upgrading it inside, and then one of these buildings was going up. I came to look at one of the flats several years before on the ground floor, and we both decided it wasn't really much different. It didn't seem much different, and it was open plan, which I have never liked. However, a few years later, for various reasons, I got in touch again, and eventually a flat was available here. And I said, well, I don't really know, and Liz said, well, come and have a look. She said, the kitchen is bigger than the one you've got, and I'm a cook. I love to cook, spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So we came here and were very, very impressed. I've never liked open plan, but I did like this setup, and we've got used to it. The rooms are bigger, so we've got more space than we had in the other flat. The second bedroom Ken has made into like an office where he does all his music tapes and all that kind of thing in his from his distant past. It's a very spacious building. You don't feel cramped anywhere, and there are lots of activities to go to, but there are a lot of activities that you can join, and I'm very impressed that there's something every single day going on here for people, for men and women, because mostly it's also, the men are usually, they haven't got as many things to do as the women, but they do have here. And you always also feel very safe because there are staff 24 hours a day. If you want anything, if anything happens or just a query, there are several means of contacting in your home, whichever room you're in. If there's an accident, you can pull a cord. So you feel very safe here.
It doesn't feel Jewish specifically to me at all. It's just a really good environment.
The thing is that Ken isn't Jewish. Mm-hmm. I was born of a mixed marriage, but took up followed Judaism, and when I was in Israel, I was Maggayed in Israel. So we don't actually live a Jewish life, although I personally feel very Jewish. I'm very Jewish concentrating in my heart, I suppose I can say. It's a feeling more than anything. So you know that you're in a Jewish atmosphere, but it's just life as usual. There's nothing special to make you feel out of place. Ken's not Jewish, but he doesn't feel out of place.
Well, also I lived about 7 years in the south of Florida, which was a very Jewish area. So I learned the language and the way of life, really. It was quite normal and natural.
He knows more Yiddish than I do. I would say that that they have the greatest future, as they've had an excellent past. But I think they do the best that they can with the finances that they've got. And I have nothing but praise for the Jewish housing, the staff, and all the people who provide contributions.